Like so many iconic games before it, Concordia has been appified by Acorn Digital and is now available for Steam, iOS, Android, and the Nintendo Switch. And long story short, on the game itself, Matt Gertz's Concordia remains one of the most celebrated and benchmark games of the pure Euro pantheon, driven by an evolving hand of cards that you play to establish your economic dominion across the map. It feathers the line between elegant simplicity and sprawling depth with masterful precision, still feeling fresh today with asymmetric scoring, multi-use cards, and a sense that, when played well, every action you take beautifully flows into the next. It is easily one of the most recommendable games out there. And aside from a few minor things, the digital adaptation is absolutely the treatment the game deserves. To start out with, you have the 2 base game maps with the promise of more to come down the road. You can play this online, blessedly, this is cross-play compatible with AI, or a local pass and play, or even play multiplayer with some AI and some human opponents. The interface itself, from setting up games to playing, is smooth and intuitive. One of my favorite features is that, thanks to the lack of random elements in the game design, pretty much anything you do throughout your turn can be undone, save for the final confirmation of completing your turn, allowing you to puzzle through certain potential outcomes. And speaking of outcomes, I was pleasantly surprised at how capable the AI is in the game. A frequent pitfall of digital adaptations is when AI becomes too predictable given certain parameters. And while I haven't played a ton, it seemed like the AI doesn't exclusively fall on set paths, and being able to include AI in multiplayer games and adjust their difficulty is very welcome. From a network standpoint, cross-platform play between my iPhone to my buddy's Steam version worked without a hitch. I still chafe at having to sign up for the publisher's own, albeit free, service to play online, but that's kind of part and parcel with the cross-play games these days. One of the few new features this version brings to the game that I love is the ability to toggle active scoring throughout the game as opposed to the classic endgame scoring only. This in particular is helpful for newer players where traditional Concordia can come across as a bit too opaque, given how many variables play into your points between the scoring conditions on cards to game state on the board. Having that all happen automatically as you go gives you a lot more information to work off of and makes the game a bit more intuitive. Visually, the game is stunning, lush while still maintaining an antique, faded map aesthetic with cool little fish and snurpant animations. My biggest, and really only major gripe, is that the tutorial is designed to walk a player through individual actions resulting in a goal, rather than my favored method of explaining a game where you start from the big picture concepts and general overview, then work on how to perform individual actions. In playing with some first-time player friends, even once they went through the tutorial, they needed some help contextualizing what it was that they were doing and why they were doing it before they were ready to go toe-to-toe online. It's a good teaching system for experienced cardboard Concordiers, but I think the tutorial could have had a better design for people playing the game for the first time with the app. Not terrible, but not terribly great either. The last thing worth mentioning is that Concordia Prime has some excellent expansion material that this doesn't, or at least doesn't yet, including Salsa, which I pretty much never play the physical game without. It's not that Concordia is bad without it, but it makes a wonderful game even better. Overall, though, the app is a great adaptation. While perhaps a bit slim in the way of bringing new stuff to the table, faithfully reproducing one of the greatest games ever is nice. Doing it in a way that's vibrant, smooth, and with solid AI and online functionality is very, very welcome. If you enjoyed this video, we have all kinds of other reviews, interviews, and recommendations via writing, podcasts, and video here on our channel and website cardboardherald.com. Our content is audience supported, so if you want to show your support, please visit our Patreon. Thank you so much for watching. This has been the Cardboard Herald.